to my voice. Walk back, I'll send this love. Walk back to me. Keep on walking. Walk down. Walk. Lay your hands in the air. Get down on your knees.
Loading up into an armored vehicle, Sergeant Brandon Hogan and his team head to Springfield Ave, where police have just shot and killed Breonna Taylor. Hogan and others were serving a warrant across town on Elliott Avenue.
Hey, just remember, the female is supposedly the one that shot. We're not for sure of that.
There's a kid upstairs.
Oh, watch that.
I got her.
In the early hours of March 13, 2020, a 26-year-old emergency room technician named Breonna Taylor was asleep in her apartment in Louisville, Kentucky. Within minutes, she would be fatally shot by police officers conducting a no-knock search warrant. What followed wasn't just tragedy. It was a catalyst for national outrage, protests, and demands for justice. Breonna Taylor was more than a name. She was a daughter, a sister, a girlfriend, and a frontline medical worker in the midst of a global pandemic. Described by friends and family as kind-hearted and ambitious, Breonna had dreams of advancing her medical career and helping others. Just after midnight, officers from the Louisville Metro Police Department executed a search warrant at Breonna's apartment. The warrant was part of a larger investigation targeting her ex-boyfriend, a suspected drug dealer. However, Breonna herself was not the subject of any criminal charges. According to police, they knocked and announced themselves, but this is heavily disputed. Breonna's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, later stated that he did not hear any announcement and believed intruders were breaking in.
Kenneth Walker, a different man who was in the apartment and dating Taylor at the time, fired one shot at police from a gun he was licensed to carry.
My girlfriend's dead.
Louisville police officers fired more than 30 shots, many blindly, into the apartment. Taylor was struck and killed. In an interview with Gayle King, Walker said the police never identified themselves.
They knock on the door and say who it was. We can hear them. It's dead silent. I know 1,000,000% sure that nobody identified themselves.
Acting in self-defense, he fired one shot, striking an officer in the leg. Police responded with a hail of bullets, 32 shots fired by 3 officers. Breonna was hit multiple times. She died in the hallway of her own. No drugs were found in the apartment. I was just trying to protect us. I didn't know it was the police. I would have never fired if I did. The shooting sparked immediate backlash. The fact that police wore body cameras, but failed to activate them during the raid only, deepened public suspicion. By the time body cam footage surfaced, it was from after the incident, showing officers milling around, confused and disorganized. This post-incident footage revealed troubling behaviors. Officers can be seen failing to secure the scene, providing inconsistent statements, and displaying an apparent lack of urgency after the fatal shooting. One officer, Brett Hankison, had fired blindly through a covered patio window, later leading to charges, not for Breonna's death, but for endangering neighbors. Despite public outrage, no officer was charged directly for Breonna's killing. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron announced that a grand jury did not indict any officer for her death, prompting further protests and criticism. It was later revealed that the jury was not even presented with the option to consider homicide charges. Breonna Taylor became a symbol, not just of a tragic mistake, but of deeper systemic issues. Her name joined a growing list in the rallying cry for justice: George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McClain. Cities across America echoed with chants of "Say her name." They broke down the door and took my daughter. And nobody's held accountable. How can that be right? Amid the outrage came change. Louisville City Council passed Breonna's law, banning no-knock warrants within the city. The law also mandated officers to wear and activate body cameras when serving warrants, a direct response to the failures seen in Breonna's case. This is not the end, but it is a necessary step. Breonna Taylor should be alive today. Let her legacy be justice and reform. For Breonna's family, no law or settlement can bring her back. In September 2020, the city of Louisville agreed to pay $12 million to her family in a wrongful death settlement. But as her mother said, justice is not a check, it's accountability. In August 2022, the Department of Justice announced federal charges against four current and former Louisville police officers, not for the shooting itself, but for falsifying the search warrant and covering up their actions afterward. These charges marked a significant shift in the legal narrative. Breonna Taylor's name continues to be spoken in protests, in courtrooms, in conversations about race, policing, and accountability. Her story is a reminder that justice delayed is justice denied, and that transparency, especially in law enforcement, is not optional. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Breonna Taylor's family.